Hey guys, it's Lisa, and I'm here with another video. It's, what's today? Tuesday, the 10th, February 10th, and I know, I'm back. It's like just a week, which is a little unusual for me, but I don't know. Sometimes I just wake up in the morning and feel like making a video, and I just had one of those days today where I just said, I feel like chatting with everybody. So, I just want to say welcome back to all of those of you who've watched my videos before, and welcome to all my new subscribers. And I'm so happy to see you and that you found me, and I hope you enjoy. I'm Yarnyenta247 here on YouTube and on Instagram, and Yarnyenta1 on Ravelry. So feel free to friend me or follow me. I do a lot on Instagram. I'm sort of addicted. It's really fun, and I've been really enjoying the interaction with everybody out there. So I love seeing your posts. I love your comments on my posts, and it's been fun. So let's see. I did write some notes because sometimes I don't remember everything I want to talk about. But I guess I'll get started. I wanted to, because I do have a few new subscribers, and I'm not sure if everybody went back maybe and watched some of my older videos. So those of you who are new, and the title of my videos is Have Yarn Will Travel. We are full-time RVers, my husband and my son and I. I have a daughter who also lives in San Diego, but she's not with us. She's there. And we downsized from our house. We lived in upstate New York for 30 years, and we downsized into an RV in June and hit the road. And we were in South Dakota for the summer, working near Mount Rushmore, and I talk a little bit about that in some of my videos. And right now we're in New Mexico. And we've been here since October. So I talk a little bit about my traveling while we're at places, and so I usually do it at the beginning of the video. And I guess I just wanted to throw it out there if for those of you watching, I know not everybody might be interested in the traveling part, or I don't know, maybe some of you are watching just for the traveling and don't want to even hear about the yarny stuff, but I think technically most of you are here for the yarny stuff. I usually do the travel news at the beginning, and I have no problem if some of you, if most of you out there kind of don't want to hear about it and you want me to save it for the end, I might do that. So let me know, comment it down below, or if you think that would be better. And then of course if you didn't want to stick around, you could just not see the end of it, if that would work better. Though I do have to say a lot of my traveling news kind of collaborates with my yarny stuff, because part of my traveling fun is to go to yarn shops or get little souvenirs, and I've made stitch markers, which I've shown before, so sometimes they're a little intertwined. That being said, I'm going to go on and talk about the travel-y stuff right now. This week we went to Taos, or last week I guess, this past week we went to Taos, which is about, it's northeast of here, northeast of Albuquerque, which is near the Albuquerque area. About 120 miles. It was a few-hour road trip. We do that. We are in a campground, so we unhook our truck, obviously, while we're staying put, and we went for a road trip. I did post some things on Instagram. I do tend to do that, so if you are interested in that, you can always follow my Instagram. And we went to, it was a beautiful drive. We went all the way up to Taos Ski Valley, and there was snow there, which was kind of fun to see, but then leave behind. And I just want to let you know I'm outside today, and I apologize to those back east who are dealing with all the crappy weather and snow and cold. I feel for you. I've talked about it before. Lived in upstate New York for 30 years. Grew up in Brooklyn. Went to college near Utica, which, if any of you are familiar with that, in Utica, New York, that's pretty snowy. So I definitely have done my time with the snow. And I'm glad that I'm here, and it's 70 today. And there's the reflection of the mountains back here, and I posted pictures. Those are the Sandia Mountains, and it's just beautiful, and I'm happy to be here. So I did go to a weaving store in Taos, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the acquisitions part of the show here. And I went to and I did go to a yarn store there too, which I'll talk about, because I do tend to do that when we go places. It's kind of the deal. I always Google yarn shops in whatever town we're going to, or whatever place we're going to visit. Sometimes I get stuff, sometimes I don't, but this was pretty good this time. The other thing I I did was my friend who's actually my husband's cousin. I've talked about that too. Who we're visiting here. Took me to Santa Fe on an overnight little jaunt. Now Santa Fe is not that far from here. It's about 40 miles north. But she had a thing for a beautiful stay at the Santa Fe Lodge, and we went on our own personal yarn crawl. And we had a wonderful time overnight, and we hit a bunch of yarn stores, and it was really cool because we went to 3 different yarn stores on, it was Friday to Saturday, Friday, and we met 2 women in this, I think it was the second shop that we were at, and they had been to the shop where we were before us, and they were then going to the shop that we were going to next. So we were kind of like following each other, and we kind of met up again in the next shop, so that was kind of fun. They were from Taos, actually, so that was cool. And it was just, they were wonderful, and talking about spinning and, of course, knitting and all the fun stuff. So that was great. You know, you meet the best people. It's a great community our crafting community out there. Okay, so that's pretty much for the travel news. I did want to also say our time here is kind of winding down. Chances are we're going to be hitting the road maybe by the end of February, maybe beginning of March. Not quite sure yet where we're going, which is a little unsettling for me, but we may actually have to go back east to deal with some stuff with our house, which we're still trying to sell and having some issues with. So if that's the case, then we are looking for work in obviously that part of the country. A couple of irons in the fire there, but nothing definite yet. If we don't have to go back, then our idea was to actually travel to the northwest and maybe try to see if we can get some work in Oregon or Washington. So I don't know. I will keep you posted as we get closer to that time of departure. Okay, so what's next up on the agenda? Back now to the yarny portion of the show. Okay, so I don't have a lot of finished objects. I actually have one finished object, which I'll show you now. And it's my flossy hat, and this is a pattern by Brownie Knits, Gina. She has a podcast and a Ravelry group, and she's also a designer and has some really great patterns. I check her out. So this is my flossy hat. I can't tell you the yarn. I think it might be Woolies. The only reason I'm saying this is I'm knitting a lot of hats for charity this year. I participated in Erin Gimme Yarn 418's hat along last year, and I also tried to send some stuff to Yolanda Soto Lopez for her Mexican orphanage charities. Those got lost in the mail and have yet to be recovered, and that was very disappointing, but that's another story. So I'm trying to make hats for charity, and I'm using my stash for that, and I do have a lot of acrylic yarn. Some of it is Woolies, some of it is Vanna's Choice, some of it is Red Heart. Some of it I kept the labels, but some of it I didn't. So I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a turquoise. It's real pretty. It's very soft. And that's going for charity. So that's my one finished object. I have a lot of whips. And I use a hashtag on Instagram, some of you probably know, called Never Too Many Whips. And that is really my motto, because I kind of feel like, you know, you never do have too many, except I'm kind of feeling a little bit anxious about the fact that I'm not finishing a lot. But I'm trying not to stress about that because there's no time limit. It's just my own kind of thing. So I'm going to get to my whips. I did write them down so I wouldn't forget. Let's see what I've got. Okay, I'm going to start with this one because this one probably has the least amount of love. And it's in my pretty little bag that my friend got me, which I love. I'm sorry, I like the crinkles. I know some people hate them. I'm sorry, this bag is crinkly. Okay, this is my Color Affection shawl. Okay, Erin. I haven't been doing it. I did. Okay, I'm going to show you because, you know, hang my head in shame. All right, this is the marker that I put in when I recorded last week. And as you can see, I think I did, 2 rows. It's kind of, I love it. I mean, you know, I love it. It's fun. It's a very, you know, repetitive knit. And I do have some pulls there, which I'm going to have to fix. I don't, my cats. Cats are so dangerous when it comes to yarn. But I don't know how you're doing, Erin. But this is how far I've gone. So it'll be there. Okay, so there's an expression that Sarah Hepworth used from, I think it was Tilly Trout, maybe? Plop. And I don't remember the exact initials. I was going to look it up and I forgot. But it's like an ongoing work in progress, but I can't remember what the initials stood for. But anyway, this is probably going to be a flop. So that's my color affection. Okay, my $5 in Paris. Again, a little bit of love. It's seen a little bit of love. I've gotten, I was going to say I could probably take those out, but I don't really want to because I'm afraid I'll lose some stitches. So I've gotten another stripe done, and I'm starting on the next stripe here. You can see the charcoal. And, oh, I didn't tell you that. The color affection is Woolike in the rose. I'm doing it in the rose, the mauve, and the charcoal gray. I love Woolike. It's really great and very soft and squishy. Okay, and this is Karen Simply Soft in the ocean and the gray heather, or charcoal. I think it's charcoal too. So, you know, a little bit, a couple of rounds here and there, but I'm enjoying this and I'm liking how it's coming out. So that's my $5 in Paris sweater, slow but sure. What else? Okay, I am working on my socks, which are here. These are the leather socks, which I've also been posting because I did do some work on them. This is how I do 2 socks at a time. I haven't tried them on a big circular needle yet. I'm kind of afraid to because I don't know if I'd like all the fiddly yarn balls getting, I mean, as it is, sometimes these get tangled up in my bag and it drives me crazy. So I don't know. I may decide to do that at some point, but right now I'm doing them like this. This was actually a kind of a thing that I watch The Knitting Room with Ellie Knitter. She's Ellie Knitter on Instagram. And she does that. And that was something that I thought, oh, I never thought of doing that. Like, just, you know, start another pair while you're working the other one and work back and forth. And so I started doing that, and I really like that method. So this is where I am. I'm actually on the heel turn for both of these. I finished the heel flap. These are Fibertown Emily Herb Leather pattern, and I'm doing these in it's the Grand Canyon colorway from Premier. The sock, let me see if I can find the label. It's this Wool Free, I think it's called, Wool Free. I thought I had a label in here, but if I can't, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and I can't find the label right now. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I thought it was in here, but anyway, it is the Grand Canyon colorway, and it is the Premier. It's, you know, I got it from Joann's online, and I really like it. It's sort of stretchy and soft, and I love the patterning and the color. It's beautiful. And it's a fun pattern. It's well written, and and she's great because I actually I did a couple of less stitches than the pattern calls for, and I messaged her just to double check on the heel turn because I wanted in the gusset, want to make sure I was going to do the right stitch count. And no offense, because it's a great pattern, I'm going back to my afterthought heel. And I think I could have done an afterthought heel on here, probably figured it out. I don't like making heels on socks. I like the afterthought heel. I like being able to just knit all the way to the toe. You know, you put in your waist yarn where you want your heel to be, and then do the toe, and then boom, boom, boom. You take out that, and your heel's done in like, you know, 5 rounds. I don't know. May try the fish lips heel kiss. You know, that's still on my want to learn how to do, but I love my afterthought heel. So I think the next pair of socks I'll be doing that. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to just check some things off, make sure I keep on track here. So I talked about that, and that. Okay. This is something I hadn't worked on in quite a while, and I did post last night that I was giving it some love on Instagram. So those of you who saw it, you've already seen. This is going to be a felted purse. And I did actually work on it. One of the reasons I decided I really need to work on it is if we are leaving here soon, I may not have access to a washing machine that I can felt things in. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm going to need to do my laundry, but I don't know how that's going to work in a laundromat. If I have to use a laundromat, I don't think I'm going to be able to felt. So I'm going to really want to try to get this done before we move on. Okay, so this is the body. I'm actually just about at the part where I need to start binding off and then to do the flap because it is a flap purse. I actually brought the book. It's from this book, Personality Plus, and this is the Jackie O pattern. I'm just going to show you a picture, obviously, because it's a book and I want to get. But anyway, that's And I'm not using the yarns that it calls for. I've actually made like 3 or 4 of these, and I've always used different kinds of yarns. I use this just sort of the same technique. And you're slip stitching. This yarn is homespun. It doesn't felt, so it's going to be funky when it felts up because the yarn around it will all felt. But I don't know what the homespun's going to do. I haven't used homespun to make this kind of purse with. I've used some other things before that. So it'll be a surprise. Now, I'm at a point where I don't know if I have enough yarn. I was going to do the flap and the strap in this color, which is the color that I used for the bottom. And this is Valley right here. This is Webb's yarn for the wool part of it. It's Valley Yarns Northampton, and this is Lake Heather. And the this color, it's some kind of a red, but let me see, I'm hoping this is the one. Yes, Old Barn Red. And then the homespun, see, I guess I did save all my labels, but I don't know if the colorway is on here. Tudor, see, I saved all my labels. Hey, about that. And the part that I'm using is a slip stitch. So you knit one round with the wool yarn, and then you do a slip stitch around with this one. So, and that's Tudor. It'll be a surprise. Anyway, I'm talking about the flap. I was going to do the flap in this because I thought that would be kind of cool. You know, the bottom and then the strap as the flap, with the same as the flap and the bottom. I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough yarn to do that. I might have enough for the flap. I don't know. And of course, I don't have a scale or anything to figure that out. So I may end up deciding to do this for the flap and then just this for the strap. I'm going to decorate the flap with something. So I don't know. Any opinions? Let me know what you think, because I'm going to start that soon, and you'll see. Okay, so that's my felted purse. Okay, so where am I after that? So I did my felted purse. Okay. All right, Z, this one's for you. Because this is, you ready? You're going to guess, you know. If you're watching, Z, you know what I'm going to pull out. It's my poncho. Okay, so Z and I were doing an impromptu crochet along last week while I was on my way to Taos. She's done with hers, and I'm not. So she's much faster than I am, and I also got distracted when we were driving around, so I didn't work on it the whole time because there was too much pretty stuff to see. But I do have this much done. It's almost done. I think I have maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. I made another poncho, which you may have seen, but I think I made that one too long because it's stretched out, and I don't like how long it actually came out. But this is my poncho, and this is, well, it was Z inspired, but I followed Bob Wilson 123's tutorial, and I'm using, this is the homespun Painted Desert colorway. So that's my poncho, and I love it. It's coming out really nice. And you guys saw me last week, if you watched, that I had started a whole different one and then pulled that out and went back to this one because I like this one better. So that's coming along. Okay, put that one away. See, I've got a lot of whips. How many is that so far? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. This is 5. Okay. Let's see. I'll put it there. Next. Okay, this hasn't gotten much love, so I'll just show this quick. I think I did a couple more teeth, and if I say teeth, you guys should know it's a hitchhiker. It's my hitchhiker, which I'm loving, but I haven't had a chance to work on it much this week. So I'm just going to show you quick. It's all tangled. See if I can get it untangled. These I'm doing on the Nova, Knitter's Pride Novas, which I love. I'd get, like I said before, I'd get a whole set of these if I could afford them. But I've got this one anyway. So, here it is. And this is how far I've gotten. Now let's count. Should we count the teeth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't think I've done any, I don't know, it's 20. Can't remember how many I had done. Maybe didn't have it. Maybe I haven't gotten any more done at all. Okay, that's my hitchhiker. So, not much done on that one either. And last but not least, I started a new hat because, of course, I finished my flossy hat, and I always want a hat. going, and this is called I call it the unman hat on my Ravelry page. Oh, and I didn't say that before, but everything here, I think, pretty much, if you wanted more information or to find out about the patterns, are on my Ravelry project page. Okay, so this is called the man hat, and I'm sorry I don't remember who it's by. I meant to write it down, but of course I didn't. And again, this is in my stash yarn. I'm not sure if it's Vanna's Choice. It may be Plymouth Encore. I thought I had the label for this one saved. Some of them that I had winded up, I saved the labels, but not all of them, and I don't seem to have the label for this one. But I am using, like I said, my stash up for my the charity hats. This is it's a great pattern. It's very easy. It's just a 1x1 rib and then a knit row in between, and that's it. And it's called the man hat, but I'm calling it the unman hat because it doesn't have to be just for me. So that's my hat for right now, and I'm really trying to get my hats done because the local yarn shop from where I used to live, I follow her Facebook page. It's Country Wool, and she just posted about how they're in upstate where we live. The shelters, homeless shelters, are just in desperate need of warm stuff for people, and so she sort of put out a call for anybody who might want to be able to contribute. So I told her that I had a couple made already and that I would send what I have, and I would try to make some more. So I'm going to do that, even though I was planning on saving those for next winter's donations. I figured I might as well do them now and let somebody get some use out of it right now. So, and if anybody has hats they think they might want to send, let me know. I could either give you the address for her, or maybe we can work something out. Okay, so that's all my works in progress. I can't believe it. Okay, which is why I don't have a lot of finished objects, because I have too many things that I'm working on. So now I get to talk about all my new stuff, new acquisitions. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the non-fiber acquisitions first, because I feel a little guilty about the fiber ones, but I'll get to that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is, and it's in my little case that my friend gave me, which has lovely elephants on it. I love elephants. This is where I keep all my crochet hooks and sometimes my knitting needles if I'm traveling with them. See? Okay, so I had ordered from Joann's. They were having a sale and free shipping and all of that stuff. And I ordered some crochet hooks because I love these Susan Bates crochet hooks, and I love the ones with the bamboo handles. So I got a bunch. I had two, I think, and then now I have all of these. So I don't think I have them in every size, but I've got enough for right now. I think the sizes that I use most often. And I love these. I love the handles. They're really smooth. They're lovely to feel, to work with. And you don't get that sharp point that you do with a naked one. A naked one. This is a naked one. This is not. Sometimes right here kind of get that sharpness. Anyway, so I got those, and I also got some double pointed needles, and these are they're Susan Bates. I don't have a lot of double pointed needles. I'm not a big fan of double pointed needles. I prefer Magic Loop, but I'm thinking about that sock yarn blanket, and a lot of you that are doing it, and some people that I've watched that are working on them, they use the double pointed needles as, straight needles to make those, because you don't need many stitches, and they're just easier to work with. So that's why I thought I would get these to try them out. They're, like I said, they're Susan Bates. They're called the Quicksilver. These are a size 2, 2.75 millimeter. And I'll let you know how they go, because, they're not that expensive, so I don't know if they'll be good or bad. So those are my non-fiber acquisitions, I think. Yep, okay. Okay, guys. I did it. I went off the yarn bandwagon. I fell off the yarn buying bandwagon. I did. I know, I need an intervention. I'm such an addict. But I'm going to justify it because, I was in places I'm probably not going to be back to, and I did get most of the stuff I got was on sale. And one of the things that wasn't on sale was a local spinner So it was local. And I like that. That's actually one of the things that I really want to do. When we left on our journey, one of the things I kind of was thinking about doing was doing, like, getting yarn, souvenir yarn from different places that we stopped, and at some point doing something with that yarn to kind of commemorate our, adventure. And I thought about, like, squares for a blanket, which is kind of the obvious thing. And I hadn't really had a chance to get a lot of yarn in that way. South Dakota, there wasn't really any, at least that I could go to where we were. And then the one place that was actually on our way to a place we were going one day, she wasn't open that day, and so I never really got any yarn from South Dakota. I did get some when we were in Cody, Wyoming, and I made that old flame scarf. It was Misty Alpaca. But that wasn't even a local fiber. That was just there, and I bought it in that store. I'm really wanting to do something locally in places that we go. So I'm going to show you what I got in Taos, and I'm going to show you what I got in Santa Fe. Okay. And I guess I have to go to a meeting because so now I have to start over day one, right? Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm a yarnaholic. Okay. So when we were in Taos, actually, no, I'm not going to do that yet because I'm talking about the yarn, which is breaking my band because I was not buying yarn. What I got in Taos is not a band breaker, and I'll show you why. All right, so this is from Santa Fe. Santa Fe is actually where I got my yarn and broke my band. And the first place we went to was called Yarn and Coffee, and it was their anniversary, so it was very nice because, I know, yarn and coffee, can you imagine? That's actually been my dream, having a yarn shop and a coffee shop together. My husband's a baker, and he bakes, cupcakes and cheesecake and oh, he's really wonderful. And I thought, oh my gosh, we could do that. Like, he could do the baking, and we could have tea and coffee, and then we can have a yarn shop right together. So someday, it might be a dream. Okay, Yarn and Coffee. She's in Santa Fe, and so it was anniversary time, and she was giving away these bags. This was actually connected, and it's more like a backpacky thing, but I don't like it that way, so I took the strings out. They're a little long, but it's cool. So now I've got a new project bag. Okay, I'm going to show you what I got from Yarn and Coffee, because I got some other stuff from other places. Okay, this is what I got from Yarn and Coffee. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I love this. This is from Willy Wonka, and it is a Ceridon sock. It's 100% superwash merino. There's 400 yards, and the colorway is Carnival. And this is a local dyer. So I got this, and my idea. Okay, this is my idea. I'm gonna make a blanket. It's probably gonna be a sock yarn blanket. I don't know if it's gonna be the mitered square one, which a lot of you have done. That Shelley King, I think it's called. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it or are doing it. The other thing that I've seen, because I just started watching the Bakery Bears podcast. I know I'm late to the party. What can I say? But Kay is making a beautiful granny square one, which I don't know, I never thought of. I actually have a granny square blanket. We're in the works. It's sort of hibernating right now. But I love the way hers is coming out, and she's using sock yarn in a beautiful little cream border, and so I don't know, that may be. And I'm going to do a souvenir blanket, and I'll sort of explain about that, and this is going to be part of that blanket. So I thought that was my justification. Okay, what else did I get? So that was all I got at Yarn and Coffee. Then we went to the Looking Glass. And, I know, this is what I need. Okay, but it was a really good price, so come on. Okay, it's sock yarn. It's called Panda Superwash from Crystal Palace. It's bamboo, superwash wool, and nylon. And come on now, isn't that the coolest colorway? It definitely is screaming to be socks. And it's the Basil Curry colorway. These were $3 a piece. They were like I don't know, marked down 60% or so. I'm not sure what the full price is. I didn't look them up or anything, but $3 a piece. I couldn't resist. And I'm going to put this in one of my boxes. And even though I had enough yarn to last me a year for my personal sock club, I'm going to put these in there because I want to do these and I want them to be part of that. So that's going to go in there. Okay. That was all from... Okay, so this was from Yarn and Coffee. This was from the Looking Glass. That was all the yarn I got from the Looking Glass. We'll come back to that in a minute. And then we went to... Oh no, yes, that's... I'm sorry. Then we went to this place called Miriam's Well. Oh my God. She had the most incredible things that she made herself. Like, there was a lot of items that she's knitted herself for sale. Oh, incredible. It was overwhelmingly beautiful and just inspiring and intimidating. And she was a lovely, lovely woman. And of course, I had, she had a sale basket, and I had to go for that. So I did get some more. And it was good prices, so I can't, I have to justify it if it's on sale at least. So this I'd never seen before. It's Drift Brights. It's a New Zealand, 100% New Zealand merino. I just thought that was really cool. And it said, hat, make me a hat. So this is going to be a hat. And it's a worsted weight. It's 279 yards, so it should definitely be enough for a hat. And the other thing I got, which was also half price, this is her card from that Miriam's Well. This is Ella Ray Lace Merino. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I just loved the colors. It's gray, and it's pinks, and it's black, and it's some of my favorite combination of colors. And it was half price. Half price? Okay, so I bought it. I know. I told you I need an intervention. All right, so that's all that I got. That's all my yarn. That's all the stuff I have to feel guilty about, because the other stuff I bought is fiber. Okay, and I'm not on a fiber band because I don't really have that much. But if I keep going, I'm going to have to be on a fiber band because I could see how this could get out of hand too. Some of you may not know it, but I am a very, 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 very new spinner. I was gifted some spindles, drop spindles from Gina Brownie Knits. Hi Gina, if you're watching, thanks again. I know I've said it a billion times, you're probably sick of hearing about it. But I'm so excited about it, and I'm just starting to spin. I have my spinning stuff here in my Ravelry bag. I did post this morning because I did a little spinning this morning. I'm not good. I'm getting there. I'll show you real quick what I've got on this spindle. So it's not bad. I mean, it's got some thick and thin spots, but I have to tell you, went to this farmer's market in Santa Fe. That's all this woman spun was thick, thin sort of art yarn, and it was beautiful. And she was selling it for quite a bit of money. And I said to my friend who loves that kind of stuff, she just loves anything that's texture and unusual, I said, I can do that now for you. So I may try that too. So anyway, that's my spinning. And I'm just, right now I have some just, plain white merino to spin on. Okay. So, fiber. I think I'm going to go back to Taos now take you back to Taos because I got some fiber there, and I'm really excited about it. And I did, again, posted this on Instagram, so some of you may have already seen this. Oh, and I just wanted to show you, this is where I'm keeping all my fibery goodness now. See? This is where I'm keeping my spinning stuff. It's getting full, though. God. We're going to have to get a camper just for my stash. Or a trailer or something, I don't know. Okay. All right, this I got from Mooncat store in Taos. We went to a weaving shop, which is really nice, Southwestern Weaving, but she didn't sell fiber. Beautiful yarns and beautiful weaving stuff. Oh, gorgeous. But she actually pointed me in the direction of this shop because she told me about this woman who's a monk who does all her own fiber. She grows the sheep, she cards it, she spins it, she dyes it. And I got this, it's Wittershane Woolworks. And that's her label. And this is Falkland. And it's 4 ounces. There's no colorway on here. but it's gorgeous. It's like oranges and gold colors and a little bit of like a burnt orange. I don't know. It's gorgeous. I hope you can see it. I think it's showing up pretty good. All right, so that's my like really special fiber from there. And I think that's pretty much my really special fiber. I showed you the one I got from Durango. So my plan is, this is my plan. My plan is I'm going to learn how to spin, and then when I get fairly good and I'm getting sort of a consistent yarn, I'm going to use the fibers that I got in different areas to make squares, either the granny square one or the mitered square one, I'm not sure yet, to sort of as a memory of those areas. I'm also going to use the bits of sock yarn if I need to add to it, because obviously I don't have that much in spinning. I'm not sure I'm going to spin that much. So if I made a pair of socks, like I made a pair of socks here in New Mexico for my husband, the leftover sock yarn from that is going to go into the blanket. I'm going to try to catalog it so I can say, okay, that's the yarn I used because the socks I made were in New Mexico. Made a pair in South Dakota. I did make some in New York, etc. You get the idea. So that's another part of my little memory blanket, is going to be to do that. Is use the bits of sock yarn left from wherever we happen to be and incorporate those into the blanket. So I do have more to show you. I know this is getting long. I didn't know it was going to be this long today, and I'm hoping you're still with me. So at the looking glass, oh, and I got this actually because these are just little locks, and I'm going to try to weave that into some fiber when I spin it and use it as part of that, a square. So I got that. Aren't those pretty colors? So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly how that will work, but I bought those. I also just got some plain white, just to practice. I think this is brown sheep, which is 100% wool. Because I got some things just to practice on, or things that, you know, are not as luxurious. And so, sorry if I'm out of the camera, because I did order some stuff from Knit Picks, because they do have fiber at Knit Picks, and I thought it wasn't that expensive. They were actually having a big sale, and I thought, well, I can use that, and you know, it's not feel like I've invested a lot of money if it doesn't come out nice, but then I can also be spinning with some pretty colors, not just the white. So I did get 3 fibers from Knit Picks, and they're really pretty actually, and they're soft. So I haven't tried them yet, so I don't know how they spin. This is called the Merlot Heather. Can you see that? I don't know. I think it's coming out okay. And this one is, oh goodness, oh, Aurora Heather. It's like a green. And this one is Wild Rose Heather, and it's like a dusty rose pink. You know, pretty much what it says. And they're 4 ounces, and this is the 100% Peruvian Highland wool. I think it's what they make the Andes wool out of, if you know Knit Picks. So that's my practice fiber to add to my other practice fibers. So now I've got lots of fibers to practice on. Okay, I think that's it. So that's it. That's my. I know, that's my stash enhancement. I know, I'm so bad. But I'm so excited to get started on working with these stuff. Okay, last thing I wanted to mention. I am not sure how much I'm going to get working on some of these projects in a few more days, because a friend of mine has commissioned me to make some baby blankets for 2 twin babies that were just born, for friends of hers that were in California. And so this is the blanket I'm going to be doing. It's a free pattern from Knit Picks. It's called the ABC blanket. I'm going to see if I can find another picture of it. So it's going to take me a while. It's charted because there's designs. It's really pretty. If I can find, wish I can find a better picture of it. I'm looking, sorry. I don't have one that shows the whole thing, but it's going to be on my Ravelry page anyway, but this sort of gives you an idea. So there's different patterns. There's 3 sections. There's a bear, there's a duck, there's a sailboat, there's the ABCs, and then I'm going to duplicate stitch somewhere on it their name and maybe the date of birth, their date of birth. And I'm waiting to get some yarn in the mail for that. So once that comes, that's sort of what I'm going to be working on for until they're done. And so I'm not sure any of my other stuff's going to get much love. We'll see. So I'm done. This was longer than I thought it was going to be. And I just want to say thanks for coming and sitting and chatting with me, or me chatting to you. I don't know. And I'll maybe be back next week. Otherwise, I wanted to say, everyone, have a wonderful week wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And happy crafting.